All right, guys, so we're going to watch one of the videos from my Blender Octane 101 guide. It's a full course that I'm basically making to teach you how to use Blender Octane. For those of the members who are in the community, they get immediate access to videos as they're being released because I'm building the course as we go. So if you're interested in that, check the link down below. All right, next we're going to look at our attribute nodes, the color attribute vertex node and the grayscale one. So to access those, if we come over here and click on data, here is our vertex group, and then here is our color attributes. I'm going to go ahead and just slide that up right up there. So what we're going to do is give this plane some more vertexes, basically some more geometry. I'm going to go into edit mode. I'm going to go subdivide, and then I'm going to go ahead and subdivide this by 50 just to give us a lot of data to work with. And what I'm also going to do is jump in the top view, and I'm just going to grab a section here and grab another section here, and I'm going to go extrude those up on the Z. I'm going to also Control R, add some more loop cuts on the side here, just to give us more vertex to play with. All right, so this is what we've got set up here. So what we can easily do, if you want to go into vertex mode, you can come up here to the top, edit, and you can select weight paint mode right here. Another shortcut is Control Tab, and here we have a menu of that, and I'm going to go into weight paint mode. And with weight paint, here's all my settings. Here's the weight paint, the radius, and the strength. I'm just going to go ahead and draw something like that right over the top. And I'm going to go ahead and jump back over to object mode. And then if you notice here on our vertex group, it already made a group here. This name is the name, and it is cap sensitive. So keep that in mind because we're going to need that here. Now, I'm going to jump over here and add a material over to these boxes here. And I'm going to just jump into GGX and then bring up the roughness a little bit, fire up the render. And this is what we've got here. I'm going to minimize all this stuff too. So what I want to do is add in our Shift A, add in our vertex, which is also an Octane textures, geometric color right there. Color vertex attribute. I'm going to go ahead and then we also have our gray. I'm going to bring them both in. So here is our gray, and then here is our color. Okay. So first thing first, what I'm going to do is take my grayscale one here. And I'm going to go ahead and plug this straight into the albedo. And then I'm going to come over here to our vertex group, double click on that, copy this name, come over here and paste that name, hit enter. And then there it is. We can see the vertex weight that I painted is being applied here. Okay. So then what we can do for the other one, for the color vertex, I'm going to go ahead and disconnect this one. The color vertex one, again, if we jump back into our edit mode, actually, we don't even need to be in edit mode. We go back to our weight paint mode. That was what we had in weight paint mode. So now to get to the other one, we're going to go to vertex paint mode here. Okay. And what I'm going to do on vertex, you can just come in here and start painting on your vertex. But what I'm thinking I like to do is there is a cool feature here. We can get like some ambient inclusion dirt node things type happening. So if I come over here to paint at the top, and you have to be in vertex paint mode. Okay. Vertex paint mode. And we come to paint, and here is dirty vertex colors. I'm going to go ahead and select that, and I'm going to pretty much leave all these settings. I'll put that to 0 there. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is go ahead and tab back over. If you press tab, here again is another shortcut menu, and this is back to our object mode. Okay, so what I want to do now, and make sure we go ahead and reset our render just in case. Now we see down in our color attributes, we have another one added here. It says attributes. I'm going to double click on that, copy that, and then I'm going to paste that into color vertex attributes like that, hit enter. Now, when we plug this in, we don't really notice, we don't see anything happening. Let's reset our render too. We don't see anything happening. And that's because if we come here, it says face corner. Face corner is not recognized by Octane. So we need to convert this to vertex. So what you do is you click this little black button down here, color attribute specials. And then we're going to go ahead, convert to color attribute, and we're going to take our domain and we want vertex. And then we're going to go ahead and hit convert. Okay. And we'll go ahead and turn that off and turn that back on. And then we go ahead, we've got our attributes in here. I'm not really still seeing it here. So it looks like I didn't assign them properly. Turn off my render, go back into vertex paint mode. And there it is. I can see it actually right there. That is the paint mode that we want. And let's go ahead and plug this back in. And attributes, I'm still not seeing it. And sometimes we might need to just change the material and then change it back. There it is. So if that ever happens to you, it's just kind of like a little bug. Just switch your material to something else and then switch back to that. And now we can see here it is. If I disconnect that, there it is. And if we plug this back in, here it is. So that's kind of like, you know, it took like the concave areas get darker and the ones that are the curvature areas basically have the white on there. So that is just a really cool way that we can add in a little bit of, you know, vertex geometry style masking. So again, another cool use case scenario, if we bring in a mixed texture node or mixed material, right? We got our first material. Let's add in our second material. I'm going to do something just so we can really see this work. I'm going to go white to red, and I'll plug that back into the amount. And there it is. You can kind of see what it's doing there. And then if we take our other one, our grayscale attributes, and then boom, there it is. So that is how you use the color vertex attribute and the grayscale vertex attribute. Again, take note that when you are using the color attribute you will need to convert it. You need to come down here and press the special and convert it to vertex. Okay. All right. Next, we're going to be talking about fields. And if we come here, Shift A, and we come down to texture, you'll see we have fields here. We have angular, planar, shape, and spectral field. So I have a couple of them loaded here, and I have a 3D transform with an XYZ UV projection onto them. So first thing, if I plug in, I'm going to plug the planar one in first because it's easiest to see the results. If I plug that in, and you can see what it's doing to this plane here. I've got a couple of other shapes in here, just like a cube and a sphere. And we can see what's happening to the plane right now. And if I come back over here and select on the fall off distance, it's like we can control that gradient, the fall off of that line. You see how it's hard, it's very sharp, which is really cool for making a mask. And then we can soften that up. And again, if you need to move that, this is where you'll come in and start to play with your coordinates to find out where exactly that needed to be shifted. It's actually not shifting anything around there. Interesting. Let me see if I can unhook that, plug it over here, and let's see if it works now. I think it did see it move off into the, there you go. So we can hold down Shift, and then you can readjust that, and then we can control the fall off on that. So then we also have the spherical field, and that's pretty much kind of doing something. Let's kind of reset that node back to my way I had it. And right off the bat, we're not seeing anything. So that means it's probably somewhere lost in the void. And there it is. That's why I put multiple shapes in here so we can kind of, but we see it has this spherical curve angle onto it. And let's probably again reset this back to 1. And then again, we can play with the radius on that. And again, the corner radius, like how sharp that fall off is going to be. So you're going to see that really the difference that it's making on each shape is completely different, especially down here. You can see more curvature, right? But just like I said, spherical field. Then we have angular. Plug that in here. And I'm just going to disconnect that for now because I see, there you go. We have angular. And we can come in here and we can control these angles. And if you can see on the cube here, there's a good representative of what's going on. And then I've got this cone. So these are really good for making some types of mask and things like that. And this shape fill one, I really couldn't get it to show up. So I don't know exactly where it is in space or how it is being used, but I cannot get it to show up anywhere. So that is another one, though, a shape field. I'm probably sure you might need something here, more like a core shape SPDF, whatever that is. And again, that might be something we might get into later into more. Yeah, probably more. This might even be used for Vectron, which is another whole situation we'll get into later in other videos. So that's just a quick run through of the planers here, which are great for making masks and things like that. If you guys want to watch more of these videos down below, check the link for my Blender Octane course. It's in my Blender Octane community. There you can get immediate access. And for the next 7 days, I'll knock $5 off. So jump on that, get in there, finish watching some more of these videos, and get access to the newest videos as soon as they are finished cooking from me. Patrick LeVar, catch you guys in the next one. Take a look at this video. Peace.